Certainly the polio agenda, which is represented by Rotary International. I'll quickly introduce our speakers who come far and wide and also represent very key initiatives in Pakistan. Also, at the end of the evening, before we commence dinner, we have been given a free tour of Aston Villa Football Club. So for all those footy fans out there, to let me know, and I'll again direct you to our usher who can take you around the club. Thank you very much.
Great pleasure at BPF to be actually out of London. Our objective was only one, that was the socio-economic development of Pakistan. We identified organizations like DFID, FCO, British Council, who've been doing lots of great work in our country. What we feel is we are not here, we don't mind doing philanthropy ourselves, but it's better to let people who are doing it continue to do it. We just would like to actually channel those in the right places, in the right organization, and to help the community in identifying what is right, what is good, what is bad. Our job is to supplement your efforts, not to take over your efforts, okay? And that's where we feel that the creation of a secretariat within the BPF, which effectively what it is it's a portal for people who use IT a lot, okay? It's connectivity, it's connectivity where you match things together, okay? So we're not here to replace anybody, anything. We're here just to help in coordinating all of our efforts in a roundabout way. Having said that, I would say that this roadshow is the first breakthrough that is actually a sign of that we've achieved the first stage and we've moved on, and now we need to go from our first stop is Birmingham. We've got another 4 stops, as Sonia said, just to make the community aware of what we're doing. Some of you believe, some of you don't believe, but there will come a time when, as I said, the objectives where we link up with organizations like Rotary, like DFID and RSPN will become important in going forward and helping Pakistan to achieve what it wants. I think I'm going to stop here because otherwise I could keep going all evening about BPF, but I won't. I'll allow some of my colleagues to do that. But that's it. I'll ask you to come and expand.
We're here to understand, we're here to listen, and we're here to engage. And we come here very humbly in recognition of the many achievements that you as a community have made. And I think that it's important that we learn from each other. And this is for us very much a learning process, as we hope it might be for you. And we aim, one of the reasons we're here is to showcase to you some of the interesting and exciting things that are happening with regards to the socio-economic development of Pakistan. As our chairman said earlier on, there are some exciting and interesting initiatives that we at BPF have helped to sort of lead or set up or be involved in, but also we've filtered for you. We've looked at them, we know that they're credible, we know that they're worth engaging with, and if you trust us, which I hope you do, you'll be able to learn some of the fantastic work that's going on in Pakistan.
We are helping reduce poverty in poor countries around the world on your behalf. And we're very, very conscious that the money that we manage is not ours, it doesn't descend from heaven, it descends from the taxpayer, and we are ultimately accountable to the taxpayer, and therefore we have to show you good value. The second thing to say is that the UK's development assistance overseas is governed by the International Development Act. And the International Development Act stipulates very clearly that the UK can only give aid to poor countries to reduce poverty. The primary purpose of our assistance overseas has to be to reduce poverty. We can't give aid for political reasons, we can't give aid for commercial reasons, we can't give aid to facilitate defence sales or anything like that. The primary purpose of UK aid has to be to reduce poverty. And if we breach that test, all these very powerful NGOs in the UK, the Oxfams and Save the Children's and so on, could take us for judicial review to test that. And so far we haven't had a case. But the government is very conscious that we need to abide by that primary test set out in the legislation.
In Andhra Pradesh, in 12 years, whereas in Pakistan in 12 years, in Gilgit and Baltistan, mobilized 1 million people. In Andhra in 12 years, 50 million people got mobilized. The only difference was that the government of the state, they totally supported the program. And now the government of India has launched a program called National Rural Livelihood Mission, based on the same principles as AKRSP. And they want to take it to 315 million rural poor of India. And they have put $7.5 billion of their own, to which I think the World Bank has contributed another $1.5 billion. In Pakistan, unfortunately, I was not able to convince either the government of Pakistan or the donors to give rural support programs the same level of support as in India, which was initially given by the state of Andhra Pradesh, and later by Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Minister Jairam Ramesh. Everyone backed this program and owned it up.
Polio is something which is avoidable. You can avoid it by giving 2 drops, but not curable. Once a baby, a child has polio, they have to suffer for a lifetime. My friend asked Jumma sitting here, his mother was a victim of polio. How long are we going to let this continue? Just imagine that when you get something like a cancer, my sister sitting here, there are, you have cancer, you go to the doctor, and say, doctor, tell me, where did I go wrong? Doctor says, no, you didn't go wrong anywhere. This had to happen, it happened. But if you take a child suffering from polio and ask the doctor that where did I go wrong, they said, yes, you went wrong. You did not give this 2 drops. The coming generation is going to ask us, the coming generation, if they would be crippling, if they would be walking with the crutches, they're going to ask us that where went wrong that you were not able to provide us 2 drops.
London is a little island of prosperity in the midst of a lot of issues, okay? And the UK is a lot bigger than just London. And the Pakistani diaspora specifically is a lot bigger than just all of us expats living in London. Okay, so we do recognize that. And that was the reason that we've come here today with, very, very open views, very, very good ideas, and we do expect to actually work with people in Birmingham, not only in Birmingham, actually there are Pakistanis throughout the UK. I think that little exhibition right before we came here by our friend Mr. John was showing that, wait, these guys have been here since the 1800s, so this is nothing new. So I think we as BPF need to address exactly what you said, and that's the initiative that we have taken. You couldn't have said what you did if we hadn't come here today, and we're listening to it with complete open ears. I think the message is gone back, and I was actually myself and Mudassir came here with a very, very clear idea and a plan. First of all, to bring people like Mozam and Dr. Sultan and Mr. Naiman to tell you what kind of work is happening in Pakistan for the Pakistani diaspora here, okay? The second idea was that on a social and a cultural basis, we want to try to establish some kind of a platform where people like you and me and others sitting here actually have some opportunity to do something. And I think I'm going back to what the young gentleman in Iran said here in Muslim's reply, that if you don't look inside yourself, you can't fix it. So I think we need to be looking inside ourselves as Pakistanis. And a couple of times Muslim mentioned, it's our taxpayer money. I'm paying these taxes in this country. I'm contributing. I want to know what is happening to my money. Okay? And there's 1.2, 1.4 million of us paying these taxes. We want to know what's happening with our money. So the idea is that to bring on these roadshows, to bring gentlemen like this to show that, look, this is not all one-sided, okay? But I think if we don't look at ourselves and what we're sitting here and doing, and if we start calling the shots, but to do that, you can't just make a noise or go to your parliamentarian and say, hey, listen, I think we need to do something. You have to get organized, you have to get established. It does take time. And BPF would like to propose that at some point we start on a cultural, social basis, but with the eventuality to have some kind of platform from which all of these ethnic Pakistanis living in this country can actually go and have a say. And through that, people like yourselves who can get elected. There are lots of young Pakistanis or ethnic Pakistanis who've got political ambitions, who are British, who are English as far as me is concerned. My children, they're all born here, they all live here. For all practical purposes, they're English. Ethnically, they are Pakistani because of me. But otherwise, they're English. So, they've all got ambitions. They're well-educated, smart people. They need something. And I believe that in the next few years, if we all work together and if BPF does its job correctly.
Philanthropy, giving, supporting Pakistan is just not a nice thing to do or a sawabi thing to do. It's a must thing to do, and you all do it pretty well. Our message from the British Pakistan Foundation is let's do it better. Thank you very much.